very oldest language on the face of this earth. Chico Kikabia Mapuni, Chineke, and son of the winner who said, Nana Jama, and Yana gave Faros, Obanana, all the then saw no one in and he went out against it because but you know what? I would like you to know that someone is the cause of this. No, I am the solution, and the only way they can get to you is by kicking me out, which is not possible. I have come. Look what you do. After I am done with Nigeria, Biafra will be free and enjoy freedom. Biafra will know the importance of freedom and what I have in 5 years to come. Thank you. So you keep on supporting evil in the zoo, the more your land will be taken from you, the more your daughters will be raped and abducted, the more your sons will be slaughtered in cold blood. And under one Nigeria, there is nothing you can do about it. Absolutely nothing. Because one idiot that they groomed will rise up and say to you, oh no, it's one Nigeria, there is crime everywhere. Haven't you heard about Zamfara? Haven't you heard about Katsina? There is crime everywhere. That is not the case. The crimes you have in the north, the insecurity you have in the north is as a direct consequence of their own action. They grouped them. Al-Qaeda in the Maghreb, ISIS in West Africa, Boko Haram, Fulani headsmen, bandits, all of them. Who brought them to Nigeria? It's Fulani. Fulani brought them into Nigeria. Everybody brought them in. All the government brought them in. Are you people deaf and dumb and stupid? When you come out and you pretend, oh, we are one Nigeria, go and show somebody was asking, where is the boundary, where would the boundary of Biafra begin? And I asked the fool, where did the boundary of Nigeria begin? People from Niger come in and go as they like. Most of these idiots are from Niger. They are building a pipeline to Niger. They are building a railway line to Niger. They are building roads to Niger. Whereas where the money comes from, which is Biafra land, We don't have those infrastructure. No, we don't. But you're taking our money. You come to Zombi, you come to Onagi, you come to Ebeba, you come to Agulere, you come to Ebo, you take our resources, sell it, get the money, and now you're building the way to get money, and you want me to be happy with you. Clap for you, one Nigeria. I think you are insane. You come to my land, you take our oil, you take our gas, you take our manpower, you take everything, our VAT, our tax, everything. You are now building a road from Katsina to Niger. Airport to Niger. Refinery to Niger. You take oil from my land, you take it to Niger, you refine it, you bring it back to me as a refined petroleum. And you're telling me that that country is viable. You're telling me that Nigeria should be supported. You are in one Nigeria. You are not going anywhere and you're dying every day. Because those that they appointed to speak to you, they gave them money so that they will come out. Pages of the newspaper to give the world giving the impression that everything is okay. When things are go and see the contradictions in it. Nigeria is not working. We are marginalized. And then you come back to say Nigeria is one. You must stay in it. Are you not foolish? These are the useless intellectuals that you have. On one hand, say Nigeria is not working. You're marginalized. You are being discriminated against. You are suffering. They are killing you everywhere. And you come back to the same place and say Nigeria must be one. Had Nigerians gotten together to say they want to be part of this useless contraption, that's entirely their business. I'm a Democrat, I'm subscribed to it. But have you asked yourself this question? Why is it that all those asking you to remain in one Nigeria has something to gain from Nigeria, or they have benefited in the past? Nothing more, nothing less. I saw the letter that Kanu wrote to President Biden. In it, Atiku said, come and help us fight terrorism in order to ensure that there will be no regional destabilization. That is their game plan at the U.S. State Department for very many years until we stepped in. They keep trotting out these lies. Once Nigeria breaks up, there will be destabilization in the entire region. I said it because you don't understand African history. Most of these people are not people. When I say it, they say I'm insulting them. No, I'm not insulting you. Most of them think in Africa, we are tribal creatures in Africa. In Africa, we are tribal creatures in Africa. We always go back to our village where our umbilical cord, how long, where it was buried. That's where we come from. That is why every Christmas, Easter, New Year festival, August meeting, you see us migrating back to where we come from. And I keep saying these things to Africans, they don't understand it. They don't understand it. Everywhere in Africa during Christmas, if you like, be in South Africa, if you like, let it be in Kenya, let it be in Rwanda, everybody from the capital goes to the village. If you go to Accra, the same thing happens. This past Christmas, if you like, go to Kotonu. Ezi onye nwe anyị na Chineke nna nke pụrụ m ihe niile, Chukwu okike abịa ma bụ onye anyị na-efe na-agọzi aha nsọ ya, onye ọbụla ya na-achị, onye mmụọ na mmadụ na-erubere isi, onye ọbụla ya bụ ọkaka. Ụbọchị ene ka anyị na-etuga eze ebube dị ngọzi, mmalite na ọgwụgwụ, ndị gboo wee tụọ oge ebighị ebi. Onye nwe m, ụmụ gị wee gbakọọ n'ụwa niile iwe nara ozi ọma nke gị onwe gị n'ezi ha site n'ọnụ mmadụ dị ndụ nna nke ebere dị ngọzi. Anyị wee na-asị na onweghị ihe ọbụla nke anyị onwe anyị bụ n'ihi na ọ bụ anụkpa ahụ sọsọ ka mmadụ dị ndụ bụ. Ofu ụbọchị anyị ga-anwụ, maka na okwu nsọ gị na-adịghị ma ruo mgbe ebighị ebi. N'ihi na okwu gị niile ga-abịarịrị na mmezu. Ọ bịa mere Biafra ga-eji wee bịa na mgbe nke anyị. Anyị wee na-akpọkụ wee na-arịọ gị na-asị, lekwa ude nke anyị na-asụ n'akwa nke anyị na-ebe ka o metụta gị n'obi. Onye nwe m na Chineke nna nke igwe, biko dịka isi wee napụta ụmụ gị n'ọbụ n'Ijipt, kwetu wee wezuga ụmụ gị bụ ndị Biafra mgbe ekwensu bụ zuru nke mmadụ dị ndụ kere. Anyị wee na-aja gị mma, na-asị gị n'ime ọnọdụ anyị na anyị ga-ekele ha nsọ gị, wee nye gị nsọpụrụ n'ụtọ na eji ama mgbe niile. N'ihi na anyị enweghị chi ọzọ ewezuga gị, anyị onwe anyị anaghị efe arụsị. Ọbịa mere iji wee na-agọzi nzọmụkwụ anyị niile. Ọbịa mere IPOB ji wee gbaa mgbọrọgwụ n'ụwa niile. Anyị anaghị atụ egwu mmadụ dị ndụ. Anyị wee na-eto gị eze ebube dị ngọzi, sị gị biko gbatara anyị ọsọ enyemaka. Ọ bụ naanị gị bụ onye anyị na-efe nwanyị akpụ isi ala nye ka i wee napụta ndị gị n'ọbụ nke ekwensu. Anyị wee na-enye gị ofe na nsọpụrụ na ija mma, na-asị lekwa ka ndị iro anyị niile ka kasị wee baa ha ọnụ, ha wee daa hapụghị ikuni ọzọ. Obodo ekwensu bụ zu ala nwekwa n'iyi eze ebube dị ngọzi. Anya wanye bụ ụmụ gị wee na-akpọkwa ha nsọ gị na-asị na ebe gị chọzọ egwezuga gị anyị wee na-aja gị mma wee na-eto gị na-asị onye kere ihe niile kere eke mana onwe onye kere na n'otuto niile na nsọpụrụ niile na ịja mma niile site n'ebighị ebi mara ebi ka a na-ajọ gị ise must be defended at all cost. At all cost. It is the land of God given to his children for their eternal habitation. We may have failed in the past to recognize this very fact, but now that this generation has come, there is nothing anybody can do to stop us from restoring the kingdom of God upon the face of this very earth in the land of Biafra, without apologies to anybody. The Fulani approach to the zoo called Nigeria is called the devil's alternative. Fulani, they have this two-pronged approach to the issue of one Nigeria. If they collapse you through banditry, they will overrun you because they believe they have superior weaponry. Right now, and all of them are in this game together. That's number one. If you sue for peace, which idiots like Omahi are doing, if you sue for peace, they will also get what they're looking for because they will plant Ruga in every local government area. The devil's alternative, whichever option you choose, men are going to die. Men will die. It doesn't matter the option you choose. If you wait for them to do things peacefully, which they will never do, they are going to kill you anyway because they'll be Ruga. And you allow them to forcibly take over your land, you are taken over, they will take it by force. And Fulani will plant their people in your local government areas. That in the next 100 years, you'll be hearing about Olo Emirates. And then we'll be like Hausa people. Our great-grandchildren will now ask their parents, what happened? They will tell, oh no, there was somebody called Hope Uzodinma. He was playing politics. He loved Nigeria. There was one called Umahi. He loves Fulani. He used to be our brother. But then we are gone. As a race, we are finished. And I said to these fools, Fulani Caliphate is dealing with you people, but you don't know it. They are like the vulture. Nigeria is pregnant. If Nigeria dies during the pregnancy, they benefit. Nigeria gives birth to their Ruga, which they want, a new Nigeria, which they want, is also to their benefit. The only people aiding and abetting them are these quislings, the fulefus from the east, intellectuals, and sophisticated morons from the west. Juku negotiated restructuring. What happened? They came back and they said no. Ojukwu said, okay, so you want to continue to kill my people all over the place? No. Because of that, I'll declare Biafra. Today, they have brainwashed all of you with the perverse notion and thinking that somehow Ojukwu is responsible for causing a war, when opposite is the case. That Gowon was the aggressor, not Ojukwu. That's how Nigeria is. Always blaming the victim. And we lost over 5 million people during that very genocidal war. They killed over 5 million Biafrans. They wanted to wipe us away from the face of this very earth. But we survived it. And we are here today. Those they gave birth to, they have come. And this time with a wrath that you cannot even begin to imagine. And
what we are pursuing is a part of pressure, relentless pressure, to ensure that Biafra comes. How are we going to employ that pressure? There are only two ways to get your freedom in the history of the whole world. Freedom can be gotten only two ways. One is through the ballot box. In other words, people will contest and they will have Biafra Nationalist Party. Yes, as they have in Scotland. And then we vote for them. When they then go to the house or maybe go to Abuja, they will say, we are here under the mandate of Biafra Nationalist Party. Because of that, we want to go and conduct a referendum in order for us to be free. The other way, you fight. Either you go to the ballot box or you fight. Which option are we choosing? We have chosen to fight.
We, the Biafrans, call the Finnish authorities to release Mazi Simon Ekpa immediately our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa Joko, has not committed any offense. Therefore, we demand for his immediate release. Free Mazi Simon Ekpa and free him now. No hand must stop Mazi Simon Ekpa from exercising his duty as a free man. Free Mazi Simon Ekpa.
For those of you who do not understand what we are doing, we are fighting for our freedom. And I believe that everyone in this life and in this world, wherever where you are, the country where you reside in, have a history. Now, I want every one of us here today and those who will listen to this particular speech to note one very important fact. Nigeria state came into being through conquest. This is a fact that nobody can change. Nigeria came into existence through conquest. And the forceful imposition of foreign rule, which denied the indigenous people in Niger area the opportunity to negotiate and choose what they wanted. That is the problem. We have lived with this foreign rule and this forceful union for decades, over 100 years. That is the problem. Now, I want everyone listening to me today to also understand that after this forceful union of Nigeria, called the amalgamation, successive regime, both before and after the shambolic independence, continue to hold the state together in a similarly forceful manner, the same pattern and the methodology that the conquest and invasion and the colonizers came in with. They thought by the forceful and the barrels of the gun, they will continue to kill people for the unity of Nigeria. That also is the problem today. So, this impression that they are creating, that the country must remain as crafted from the amalgamation by the colonialists, and that this country called Nigeria unity is non-negotiable. That is also the problem. We have lived from centuries to century, and today we are in the era of 21st century. We are now in a global village where the things of the past and the things of the old are changing to become new. And they don't want to change Nigeria with the dangerous diversity that have now emanated from different angles and the different injustices and corruption, and now Nigeria has found itself to become an Islamic state. That is the problem.
Will be set free. I said everybody in bondage in the zoo will be set free. I don't hate anybody. I don't despise anybody. If I mention your ethnicity or your tribe, if I am a bit hard on them, know that I am specifically referring to those of them that they call their leaders, those who have led us this very blind alley, this very blind path, those of them that will continue to deceive, those that will continue to lie, those that will continue to prevaricate, those that cannot deliver any measurable or tangible developmental indices at all, in any way, shape, or form. We have come that the blind may see, not in the way they do it within Pentecostalism, but we have come to impart knowledge and reason. We start this very evening. Thankfully, I made it very clear before that I'm not Igbo. I speak Igbo like I am a Biafran. I am a Biafran. That is why I think the way I do. I act the way I do. Because I'm a Biafran. Oh, don't you put a mumbo sense? No wonder you would now a soku katoro. Did I not warn you? Anybody, me, no man, I landed them. You don't have any brain. Your nation is Biafra. Because with Biafra, you get everything. Biafra. Anything done in the name of Igbo, the world is listening, so I will say it. Our sister was calling and said, oh, why are some people against? They're against us because we speak the truth. Allow me to tell you what people again. Anything done in the name of Igbo, IGBO, that thing will fail. Allow me to repeat. Anything you do in the name of Igbo, IGBO, that thing will fail because the name is Costa Habron.
For those who will always say, oh, why don't you win election? Why don't you bring somebody who is going to win election for you? Why don't you go to national conference? Why don't you do this? Listen to what Nnamdi Kanu answered.
Push for that in a place like the national conference that is going on now to get that kind of autonomy first, rather than now pushing for independence without whether Nigeria wants it or not.
The fact of the matter is that the structures doesn't exist. The institutions that will allow the emergence of a democratic Biafra within a peaceful setting does not currently exist in that very place you call Nigeria. Mind you, that is the name of a river. Up north, you call them Niger, which is French. If you come down a little bit, it is called Niger, which is English. And the people that live around it are called Nigerians. The only place, or part of the only place in Black Africa where you name a people after a river. I have never seen any civilized country in the world where people are named after a river. It's never happened before. The people own the river, not the other way around. By tacitly accepting the word and the tag Nigeria, what it means is that you never had any history until Frederick Lugard came, which is a fallacy, it's an abomination, and nobody should be saying that. Coming back to what you said, there is no way we can run for office as a political party. We tried it with ABGA and it did not work. These issues were trashed out very well. Is that the people that control the levers of power within Nigeria are not politically sophisticated enough to appreciate the finer point of political discourse. In other words, that disputes resolution can best be conducted within a political setting where people are civilized. And I'm afraid to say that what I see in the zoo they call Nigeria, people are not civilized.
Now, we're out of time, but let me ask you, last week, I believe, the Biafran Zionist movement claimed a responsibility for the attack at the Enugu State Government House. Are you familiar with that group, and what was the mission of that attack?
I am familiar with a lot of groups. That name rings a bell. Anybody that can do anything to disrupt the present orthodoxy of governance by a group of very corrupt cabals is welcome. In that regard, I welcome what they did at Enugu, and I hope that people can come out and join us when the time comes to overthrow the very corrupt, inept old men and women in charge of that very place, because Biafra must exist. It's our right to make sure it happens.
All right.
While Nnamdi Kanu is not condemning any group, while Nnamdi Kanu is not condemning any group whatsoever, just like I am supporting any group at all, so long as you are fighting against Nigeria. While Nnamdi Kanu is not supporting, is not condemning any group, the people that claim follow him today, they say Simon Ekpa is a terrorist. Simon Ekpa is this. Simon Ekpa is that. After 10 good months of fighting Simon Ekpa, they didn't achieve anything. After 10 months of fighting Simon Ekpa, they didn't achieve anything. Yet, they are now changing tone. Simon Ekpa is a terrorist. Simon Ekpa is the leader of a non-government. Chai! This OG. And they are looking for freedom. You see, the more you blackmail me, the more you are blackmailing yourself. You think you are blackmailing me. You are blackmailing yourself. You don't know that? When the BBC came and do their nonsense disinformation, is it only Simon Ekpa that they showed his picture? Is it only Simon Ekpa? You all were there. All of you were there. You could not even defend yourself. The same Simon Ekpa you are calling all manner of names defended you there. And let me tell you, even when they mentioned Simon Ekpa, the issue they mentioned Simon Ekpa, there was not even, I can defend anything I say. All of you, you could not defend yourself, yet, you blackmail me. You think that when you blackmail me, when they want to call name, they call only Ekpa? All of you, your picture were there. Did you see my picture in the write-up? No. My picture was my video was hidden in the video. But all of you, your picture was there. Every day you look for Simon Ekpa, you post. Simon Ekpa is one poda. Simon Ekpa is a perima. Simon Ekpa is this. When the thing begin to happen, you think it doesn't, they will call you. And when the issue started, you could not defend yourself. You couldn't defend yourself. BBC did not say it was Simon Ekpa. BBC put your picture, all of you, as you were blackmailing Simon Ekpa, they did not say it was, they put all of your picture. So this one, they say, we are going to kill this one, we are going to kill that one. All of your picture was there. Your video was there. Yet, you will wake up every day to blackmail Simon Ekpa. And every day, if you don't, of course, some of you can never learn. Hatred and jealousy of Simon Ekpa have beclouded the brain that you don't even have at all. I do not know when they are going to learn. They think when they promote Simon Ekpa by calling Simon Ekpa criminal, BBC will come and say Simon Ekpa. All of you, the more you are calling me a terrorist, the way you are calling me a terrorist is the same thing you are calling yourself. You think when you be a terrorist is oh Jesus Christ. This BBC disinformation should have teach all of you a lesson. You think when you come to social media because you hate me, because you are jealous of me, because you don't like me, you think when you call me criminal, you are going to pay for everything you say. You are going to pay. You carry my name and blackmail. Simon Ekpa is the leader of a non-government. Simon Ekpa is this one. Simon Ekpa is that one. You see the way BBC is dealing with you people? If anything is going to happen anywhere, you are going to also be dragged into it. And you can't even defend yourself. It's a body boss. It's in pataka everywhere.
Of heaven, the very oldest language on the face of this very earth.
Because I can say that from what I have just listened from you, it is just not ordinary.
Very wonderful.
When my lawyers came to see me, I had a discussion with them about how I'm going to defend myself. I told them that
Obodo is majority. One name when the echi Oge Chukwu, Mama Igogo. Amalati asidu medu. Amalati okumu. Amalati asidu echi
Welcome. Thank you for joining us on today's program. I appreciate everyone that has connected to this program wherever you are connecting from. Whether you are joining us from Biafran land, you are joining us from Nigeria, you are joining us from any part of Africa, Asia, Europe, America, Australia, Canada, New Zealand. You are joining us from Iran, you are joining us from Ukraine. Whichever part of the world you are connected to this program, I welcome you and I appreciate you for being part of this program. Please, as you join the platform, if you have not yet subscribed, kindly subscribe to the platform, like and share the program. Very important. Like and share the program. That is the most important way we can be able to spread this gospel. Remember, one of the charge that was given to us is to engage on radical evangelism. So as I welcome you, once you come in, try to bring at least one person along with you. By sharing the program on your platform, on your WhatsApp group, to family and friends, including our enemies, those that have superior argument or credible questions to ask, give them the link so that they can be able to join us, ask their questions and make their contributions. Remember, in this platform, we do not come here to instigate violence. We don't come here to preach hate. We do not come here to attack people or individuals. All we do in this platform is to present Biafra to the whole world as the only remedy to the failed state Nigeria. That we have been doing and that we will continue to do until Biafra is completely free. So I welcome every one of you once again today as we go into the program of the day. This is a very interesting time. We are in a very interesting time, and if you come across this video, don't just watch alone. Share it. Let others join us. Share it. Both those who are going to watch it live and those who watch later. Share. So that this information will not be kept in one place. It's very important. It's a very interesting period that we are in. When you look at the title I chose there, it says, "The battle for Biafra image has begun." The battle for Biafra image has begun. Why every true patriot must stay focused now. Every true patriot must stay focused now. The battle of Biafra image has begun. A lot has happened in the past. More continue to happen. But a bold step has been taken by the supreme leader of IPOB, Nnamdi, Kanu, to redeem the image of Biafra. And every single one of us, you and I, we have a role to play in that redemption. If the image of Biafra must be redeemed, you have a role to play. I have a role to play. the time to redeem the image. And it is a very critical time. When you compare what is happening today and the way every eye is on Nigeria, there is no other time that it is more important to redeem the image of Biafra than now. And that was why when I saw the step taken by the supreme leader of IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu, to redeem IPOB and present it as how it's supposed to be, I was glad. That was the best thing that happened to us recently. Finally putting an end to the Department of Saboteur. Their so-called ex-DOS under Chike Dozie and China Sanwo-Olu has finally ended completely, officially ended. Whatever they say, whatever they do today is irrelevant. And none of us should be paying attention to what they say, what they share, or what they do. Biafra has an image that must be redeemed. Mazi Simon Ekpa Njoko, the Prime Minister of Biafra Republic of Nigeria, tried everything humanly possible to redeem the image of Biafra. He did his best to redeem the image of the IPOB. And he did the best he can. He was not the one that established IPOB. It was Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And the indigenous people of Biafra is under Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. He could not have done more than what he did to redeem the image of Biafra. And we have waited for this moment till now. Even Mazi Simon Ekpa predicted this moment that these people were going to be gone and gone for good. Mazi Simon Ekpa did not only say it, we conducted a vote of no confidence to send them packing. And today, it is now official, announced by the supreme leader of IPOB, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. I bumped into some of those riffraffs making their videos. I saw one that said that they have sacked the supreme leader of IPOB. Oh God, it is really laughable. I saw one of their posts. They say they have sacked the supreme leader of IPOB, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the face of Biafra today. In this generation, there is no place on the planet Earth where you will mention Biafra and remove Mazi Nnamdi Kanu from it. It is not possible. It is not possible. There is no place today, presently, where you will go and mention Biafra without the name of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in the front. He is the image. The Biafra we know today is Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. He has built a credible image, not because of his person, but because of what he has done. Unbribable, sincere, with all, in all areas, tested and trusted. There is nothing you can do today when it comes to the Biafra without Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in the front line. It is only a saboteur, a deceiver, an envious person, an evil man. We claim to talk about Biafra today without Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in the picture. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have made more than enough sacrifice. The respect he has today is not just because he ordered it or he forced people. No, he earned it. The image of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu today, he earned it. He has become a symbol, not just a symbol for Biafra, a symbol of justice. Many people, including non-Biafrans, describe him as a prisoner of conscience. So how dare you? How dare you talk down on him? But I'm glad what is happening, and I know that the Biafrans today who have lost their feet have finally found their feet. The absence of Mazi Simon Ekpa left a very big gap There was so much confusion, right, left, and center. People didn't know where to run to. In fact, some people stopped paying attention to the struggle. Some people left completely. Some people, not because they do not want freedom, not because they don't like Biafra, but the confusion was so much, they couldn't bear it. The disgrace was so much. You open your phone, you'll be seeing something that is inhuman. The word that is coming from the mouth of those who claim to be fighting for Biafra. But I thank you, that finally a nail has been put in the coffin. And today, everybody knows where he or she belongs and what to do and what not to do. Nnamdi is a great leader. He started from unification, creating the 100 men for all the Biafrans to unite under the umbrella of 100 men, regardless the group where you belong. Whichever group you are, you should be part of the 100 men to make your contributions. Nnamdi never told you to leave your group or come and be with him or you must be in this organization or that organization. No. Where Nnamdi is concentrating on is in the unity of purpose. Unity of purpose. That is the major area Nnamdi is focused on. That purpose for which we gather in all groups. That purpose for which we have Biafran banner behind us. That purpose for which we have Biafra symbol behind us. That purpose for which we use the name of Nnamdi. Freedom, self-determination. That is the most important thing for him. In the same vein, that is the most important thing for Simon Ekpa. Since all this while has been in detention, all his messages have been unity. All his messages have been unity. And I believe by the time he joins us very soon, just as Nnamdi has done, he's going to do the same thing. He's going to do the same thing. At the end of the day, we will become whom we are supposed to be, the IPOB, the indigenous people of Biafra. That has been whom we are. That is whom we are. And there's nobody that can take it away from us. When Nnamdi said that IPOB is indestructible, it is not a joke, not a play, not to make you happy or to brag. It is a fact. And now you have seen it once again. Before we go deep into the topic of today, I want us to listen to the press release of the new HOD, Mazi Chris Mogu, as he speaks on his statement and accepts the position that was given to him. Many of you must have seen the video, but we cannot go into today's discussion without hearing his response on that very appointment that given, the responsibility that was placed on him. It is a very great job, a very big job at that. So Mazi Chris Mogu have spoken on the press statement and he accepted the position that was given to him. I would like us to listen to what Mazi Chris Mogu has to say. It is important, before we go into the full discussion of today, it is important we hear the response from the new HOD, whether he accepts or not. It is important. So let us hear him before we go into the program of today. Let's listen to what he has to say.
My dear brothers and sisters, fellow patriots, and committed members of indigenous people of Biafra worldwide. It is with profound humility, a deep sense of responsibility and unwavering loyalty that I accept this sacred mandate bestowed upon me by Supreme Leader Onyendu Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to serve as head of the fourth administration of Directorate of States of the indigenous people of Biafra. I accept this responsibility fully conscious of the enormous sacrifices that have brought us to this moment, and mindful of the expectations of millions of Biafrans at home and abroad, who look to IPOB as the foremost vehicle for peaceful realization of their inalienable right to self-determination. First and foremost, I pay tribute to our Supreme Leader, Nnamdi Kanu. Though through years of persecutions, incarcerations, extraordinary renditions, and relentless pressures, he has remained steadfast in his conviction. He has neither compromised nor capitulated. His courage, his resilience, and unwavering commitment to the cause of Biafra continue to inspire millions across the world. On behalf of the global family of IPOB, I express our deepest gratitude to Nnamdi, to all of those languishing in various prisons because of this cause, and to heroes who paid the supreme price in this sacred mission. Their sacrifice, courage, and unwavering commitment shall never be forgotten. History will record that when many faltered, he stood firm. When others doubted, he remained resolute. And when adversity came, he refused to surrender. The fourth administration of Directorate of State shall dedicate itself to urgent priorities entrusted to us by our leader and by our people. Our first and foremost immediate priorities remains the unconditional release of Nnamdi Kanu and all Biafran prisoners of conscience who are detained solely because of their beliefs, advocacy, or association with the cause of Biafra. Secondly, we shall intensify our diplomatic engagements across the international community, particularly in the United States of America, Europe, and Israel. Where dedicated teams continue to work tirelessly to advance awareness of the Biafran question and to ensure support for justice, freedom, and self-determination. Thirdly, we reaffirm our commitments to the security and survival of our people. The indigenous people of Biafra cannot stand idly by while communities face growing insecurity. We shall continue to support all lawful effort aimed at protecting our ancestral homeland and ensuring that the tragedies witnessed elsewhere are never allowed to consume the land of our fathers. The most difficult challenge we have faced during the years of our leaders' incarceration has been the battle for public understanding. While we remain focused on the pursuit of justice and self-determination, hostile actors successfully propagated the false narrative that IPOB and the Eastern Security Network are connected to insecurity in our homeland. This deliberate misinformation campaign has done immense damage to public perceptions and has distracted attention from the real security threats confronting our people. One of the central missions of this administration shall therefore be to reclaim the narrative through facts, evidence, engagement, and consistent public advocacy. We shall devote significant time, energy, and resources to ensuring that our people and the wider world understand who we are, what we stand for, and why IPOB remains committed to peaceful self-determination, justice, and the protection of our ancestral homeland. As we embark upon this new chapter, we must also renew our commitment to discipline, unity, intellectual engagement. The time for internal distractions, needless controversies, and destructive divisions is over. The future we seek cannot be built through bitterness of personal attack. We shall engage every argument with reason, every challenges with facts, and every adversary with superior ideas and principled convictions. IPOB must always remain a movement distinguished not merely by passion, but by clarity of purpose, moral courage, and intellectual strength. We also welcome the growing conversation regarding the future of Igbo and the political destiny of our people. In this regard, we take up the challenge recently articulated by Governor Charles Chukwuma Soludo. IPOB shall remain at the forefront of any sincere and globally credible dialogue concerning the aspiration of Igbo. We reaffirm our long-standing positions that a referendum remains the most democratic, peaceful, and internationally recognized mechanism through which the people can freely determine their political future. IPOB is not a movement of chaos. IPOB is a movement founded upon principles, ideas, justice, and peaceful self-determination. We believe that the freedom of Biafra represents not merely the liberation of one people, but advancement of freedom, dignity, and justice for all indigenous peoples trapped within the contradiction of the present Nigerian state. Freedom for Biafra is freedom for all. The complete composition of the fourth administration of the Directorate of State shall be formally unveiled in the upcoming days through Biafran Radio and other official IPOB communication platforms. I would also like to express our sincere appreciation to the members of the third administration of the Directorate.
You have heard the message of acceptance from the new HOD. He has just delivered his message of acceptance, and he's quite acceptable, and his speech are amazing and nice. Most importantly, talking about forgetting about the bickerings, the attacks, propaganda, blackmailing of each other, internal wrangling and fightings. That era has gone. It is time to engage on meaningful discussions. It is the time to counter every narrative with facts and figures. It is time to engage those who want to be engaged on a meaningful argument. The time for propaganda and blackmail has gone. Wherever you are as a Biafran, this is a new dawn. The redemption of IPOB have started. The battle for the image of Biafra has started. And every one of us have a role to play in this battle. If we must win, we have a role to play. So on our topic this morning, the need to redeem the image of Biafra, focus, unity, and the pursuit of self-determination. I welcome every one of you that have joined us, and I say good morning, good afternoon, Good evening, everyone joining from different parts of the world. Accept my greetings according to your time zone. Thank you for taking the time to be part of this important discussion. Today, I want to speak about a subject that is deeply significant to many people across the globe. The need to redeem the image of Biafra, the importance of remaining focused amidst distraction, and the continued conversation surrounding the aspiration of the Biafran people. This presentation is not about hatred, not about hostility, not about division. It is about understanding, identity, dignity, historical memory, peaceful advocacy, and the importance of maintaining focus on clearly defined objectives. That is why we are here today. Throughout history, many people and communities have sought recognition, justice, inclusion, and the right to determine their own future, whether in Africa, Europe, Asia, the Americas. Movements for self-determination have often emerged from a desire for political representation, cultural preservation, economic opportunity, and respect for human dignity. The Biafran question remains one of the most discussed and debated issues in contemporary African political discourse today. For decades, people have expressed differing opinion about Biafra. For decades, people are expressing differing opinion. People have different things to say when it comes to the issue of Biafra. When Biafra is mentioned, some view it as a historical event. Others see it as an unfinished political conversation. Still, others regard it as a symbol of identity and collective memory. Regardless of one's position, there is no doubt that the subjects continue to generate intense discussion across Nigeria, Africa, and the international community. Regardless what you believe to be Biafra, whatever the interpretation of Biafra you have, your idea of Biafra, it does not change the fact that today the issue of Biafra continues to generate intense discussion across the breadth of Nigeria, Africa, and the entire world. One of the greatest challenges facing any movement, community, or cause is the battle of perception. The battle of perception. Before people listen to your message, they often form an opinion about your image. Pay close attention. Before people listen to your message, they often form an opinion about your image. So before people listen to whatever we are saying about the issue of Biafra and our freedom and self-determination, they already have an opinion about our image as Biafrans. Before people examine your arguments, they often react to your reputation. Before people examine the argument of Biafra, the argument we are presenting, they often react to our reputation as Biafrans, our reputation. Before people study our history, they often judge what they think they clearly know. This is why image matters. This is why image matters. And this is why Nnamdi Kanu is taking the step he's taking today to recover and redeem the image of the IPOB, which is also redeeming the image of Biafra. Because the XDOS damaged the reputation and the image of Biafra completely. There is no kind of crime they did not commit. There's no kind of lie they did not tell. Propaganda and blackmail. And it is very important that we have to redeem that image. That is why Nnamdi Kanu is taking the step he took today. Redeeming the image of Biafra. The image of IPOB. This is why image matters. Image is not merely public relations. Image is not propaganda. Some of you don't understand. Image is not propaganda. Image is not cosmetic branding. Image is the reflection of how a people are perceived by the world. Image is the reflection of how people are perceived by the world. How is the world seeing us today, the Biafran people? How does the world look at us? In a generation of social media where information flies like a jet, with all that is happening on social media today, if you don't know that the image of Biafra is at stake, it means you're a fool. If you do not know that the image of Biafra is at stake, it means you are a fool. You don't know what you are doing. When you see what is happening in the social media today, the damage that is being caused by this Department of Saboteur, up to this day, even as I'm speaking, go and see some of their platform. You go to TikTok, you see them on TikTok. You see them on various platforms. Go and listen and hear what comes out of their mouth. Then you understand how important it is to redeem the image of Biafra. Ask yourself, how will people perceive us from what is happening in the social media today? How will people perceive us? The move that Nnamdi Kanu made was the greatest of all. As always, a leader that knows what to do at the right time has just done it again. When the image of people is distorted, misunderstood, or misrepresented, it becomes more difficult for their concern to receive more consideration. This is why the redemption of the image of Biafra is important. The redemption of the image of IPOB is important. When the image of a people is distorted, misunderstood, misrepresented, just like what some idiots are doing today. You see many platforms that are misrepresenting Biafra. Misrepresenting Biafra. All they preach is lie, propaganda, blackmail with no single truth in their message. Infighting, propaganda, saga. When the image of the people is distorted, misunderstood, and misrepresented, it becomes more difficult for their concern to receive fair consideration. Now you see why it is important for us to redeem our image. When you look at the situation of the world today, the world is changing. We are in a new world order under the President of the United States, Donald J. Trump. The new world order. And for you to have a positive effect, your image must be presentable. We know that Nigeria is on a hot seat. United States satellite is on Nigeria 24/7. Nigeria is in the front line. It is a great opportunity for the Biafrans to present their image the way it's supposed to be, so as their concern to receive fair consideration. And I thank you, Nnamdi Kanu made that move. All we need to do today is to key in every one of you that sincerely want to be free. This is not about group. It is not about who you like and who you hate. It is about us, you and I, our image, the image of Biafra. When we talk about the image of IPOB, it is the image of Biafra, the indigenous people of Biafra. It is very important to clean up that image. You can't change IPOB to something else. And I bet you, Mazi Simon never tried the same thing to redeem them. But of course, he wasn't the one that created it, so there is limit to what he can do. But wherever Mazi Simon is, I know he will be very happy today to see that what he has said has come to pass. That these criminals have ended completely, officially ended. And when he joins us after his appeal, we will go back to basis. Peace and discussions with him. We will be whom we are supposed to be. Our image will be completely restored. All you have to do today is to prepare yourself for what is coming. This is not the time for unnecessary talks. This is not the time for unnecessary propaganda and blackmail. For our concerns to receive a consideration, our image must be good. This is why many people argue that redeeming the image of Biafra is an important task. Redeeming the image of Biafra is an important task. And when I say image of Biafra, I mean the image of IPOB, the indigenous people of Biafra. It is important. Redeeming that image is very important. Redeeming an image begins with understanding the challenges that created negative perceptions in the first place. Wherever you are today, whichever group you are, under whichever umbrella you put yourself, I don't have a problem with you. I'm not advocating for you to vacate whatever you are. Focus on the unity of purpose. But I want you to use your common sense and key in this redeeming of the image of Biafra that Nnamdi Kanu have started. Redeeming an image begins with understanding the challenges that created negative perceptions in the first place. Some perceptions are based on historical events that they created by themselves. Some perceptions are based on historical events. Some are based on political disagreement. We see a lot of that. Some emerge from media narrative. We have seen so many media narratives have been pushed. One of them was touched by the new HOD when he was speaking. The narrative of blackmailing the ESN, painting ESN to be the unknown gunmen, accusing them of death and attacking innocent Biafran. That has never happened. Not on the tenure of Nnamdi Kanu, not on the tenure of Simon Ekpa. No single innocent Biafrans was targeted. But they created that narrative through their media. Till tomorrow. They conduct their false flag and they push it to us through their media. We need to clean up that image. Some result from misinformation. Even up to this moment, there are so much misinformation that are being pushed. Pushed by this Department of Saboteur that we are sacked. The ex-DOS. These people were misinforming Biafrans to the highest level. The same misinformation they used against Mazi Simon Ekpa. They lied that he wasn't a member of IPOB. They lied that he never worked with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. They lied that he wasn't an Igbo man. They lied on several things against Mazi Simon Ekpa, accused him of crimes he never committed. Today, in the same vein, every single thing they accuse Mazi Simon Ekpa is what they are accusing Mazi Nnamdi Kanu today. Misinformation, misinforming the public. They are misinforming the public. Some of them have gone as far as saying that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was not the one that created IPOB. They have gone as far as accusing Mazi Nnamdi Kanu of sleeping with an underage. They accuse him of embezzlement, and all these accusations, there is no evidence to them. It is just propaganda and blackmail, misinformation to destroy the image and personality of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. But I bet you, they just hit the rock. The man you are talking about is as white as water, as tested and trusted. And there is nothing you can throw at Mazi Nnamdi Kanu today that will remove the love that we have on him. It is impossible. You were not even able. You were not able to destroy Mazi Simon Ekpa. How do you think you can destroy Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? You were not able to remove the love the Biafra'S had on Mazi Simon Ekpa. How do you think you can remove the love that is on Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? But I thank you that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have taken the bold step, and today, officially, you are gone and gone for good. Even though we have casted the vote of no confidence many years ago, some of these arise because different groups, some of the confusions and the bad image you have today arise because different groups interpret the same event differently. This is the one we are still having up to today. Different group interpreting the same event, they interpret it differently. And you'll be wondering, what is happening? The same event, the same group, different group interpreting the same event in different tones, just to satisfy their own selfish interest and whatever they think they believe in, just to give credit to themselves and their groups. The first step towards improving any image is not denial. As we are trying to improve our image, always remember that the first step towards improving any image is not denial. The first step is understanding. We need to focus on understanding each other, regardless the differences among us, regardless of our different ideas and different groups. Understanding. It is time for us to pay attention on understanding. Allow people, give people voice, give people time to express themselves. Hear people out. Hear where we are coming from. A community must understand how it is perceived before it can effectively communicate who it really is. We must understand whom we are. How do people see us? With all this chaos, right, left, and enter, all the chaos that is coming from all angles, whenever you wake up, you go to media, you become ashamed of yourself. With all these things that are happening everywhere, we must understand how people perceive us before we can effectively communicate who we really are. We need to pay attention. How do people see us? It is not just about what we see ourselves, how we see ourselves. Every single one of us, how do people see you as an individual in the area where you are, in places, countries where you are? Bring it up to individuals, countries, house, homes where you are. How do people perceive you? Then in your group, then you go wild to the Biafran cause. Open your eyes and see. How do people see us, those of us, the Biafra agitators today? No matter the group you belong. How do people see us? We must understand how people see us if we will redeem our image. When we understand how people see us, then we will understand how to make amends. Secondly, the second step is discipline. We have lost discipline. From the kidnap of Nnamdi Kanu in Kenya, discipline was thrown to dustbin. The Biafran agitation lost discipline. 100%. We lost it. That is why you see different groups springing up. And the loss of discipline started all the way from this Saturday DOS. This Saturday DOS, they were the one that brought indiscipline in the struggle. They planted indiscipline in the struggle. And they choose to use command and control. This Saturday, the DOS, they planted indiscipline. Immediately, Mazen Nnamdi was kidnapped. They planted it. How did they plant it? By disobeying every single instruction that Mazen Nnamdi gave. They disobeyed it. They disobeyed every single instruction Mazen Nnamdi gave them. They disobeyed it. Allow Mazen Simon Ekpa a slot to preach on Radio Biafra. They said no. Okay. Let's allow Mazen Simon Ekpa do whatever he's doing. Don't attack him. Don't call him. Allow him and let him do what he's doing. They refused. They recruited more than 500 media warriors, attacking Mazen Simon Ekpa every single day. And they achieved nothing. They end up destroying themselves. They destroy the discipline. Even when you come to their platform and ask questions, they kick you out. Sack, sack, and sack was the order of the day. Indiscipline became the order of the day from the moment Mazen Nnamdi was kidnapped. So we must look into discipline. Go back to where we are coming from. We must get back our discipline. No movement can succeed if it lacks discipline. We cannot succeed if we continue to build on indiscipline. No organization can grow if every individual pursue a different agenda. In this Biafran cause, there is only one agenda: self-determination, nothing else. There is only one agenda in the cause of Biafra: self-determination. That's why Mazen Nnamdi can say it's either Biafra or nothing. Even if he dies, that's either Biafra or death. That's what he said. The only single agenda why people gather in various groups, in various camps, in various mushroom groups is what? Self-determination, nothing else. No organization can grow if every individual pursues a different agenda. Always remember that we have only one agenda. No community can build credibility if its members constantly undermine one another. Wherever you are, I have said it time again, I don't have a problem with the group where you belong. But for you to continue to undermine one another, it is a no-no. You are destroying the credibility of the struggle. Undermining one another, you are destroying the credibility of the struggle. Just like some people are doing now. You see some people calling for the protest for Mazen Simon Ekpa Njoko in Finland on the 4th to 7th. And some group are speaking against it. Some people are speaking against it. Some are not interested. Simply because you are not the one that organized it. It is not that it's not worth doing. You know that this is the right thing to do. You can't do it. Then applaud those who have done it. You don't. You undermine them. Biafrans have cried and shouted for international lawyer for Mazen Simon Ekpa. You could not provide an international lawyer, and you can't support those who have made that effort. You can't even encourage them. Even if you don't have money, word of encouragement is enough. But instead, you undermine them. except it is from your group or the person you love, you undermine it. No community can build credibility if its members constantly undermine one another. Every Biafran agitator, we are one community. We are all IPOB, the indigenous people of Biafra. Regardless the other mushroom groups you have, we are all IPOB. And if we continue to undermine each other, we lose credibility before the whole world. Discipline means remaining committed to principle. Discipline means speaking responsibly, not saga. Don't use your platform for saga. Don't use your platform for blackmail. Don't waste your time only to come on camera and spend hours and hours just to insult and abuse and push lies that doesn't hold water. Discipline means speaking responsibly. Discipline means acting in a way that reflects the value one claims to present. Acting in a way that reflects the value that we all claim to represent. That is discipline. That value we claim to represent, every one of us. That thing we claim to represent. When you are acting, let your actions reflect that thing you claim, that value you claim. We claim to be sincere. We claim to be truthful. We claim to be whiter than white. But when we act as people who have lost their mind. We act like people who are full of hate. We act like people who are confused. But we come in the other one round, we claim the values of sincerity, love, kindness, and humanity. Discipline means acting in a way that reflects the value that we claim to represent. Another thing that we must do at this point in time is focus. It is a time to focus. Focus is one of the most powerful forces in human history. Focus, one of the most powerful forces in human history. Every successful movement, organization, and institution achieve results because people remain focused on clearly defined goals. Distractions are inevitable. It will definitely come. I am not telling you that there will be no distraction. Distraction will definitely be there. It will definitely be there. Criticism is also inevitable. You can't avoid it. Criticism will always be there. Controversy is inevitable. You always have it. Misunderstanding are also inevitable. But progress becomes impossible when distraction consumes more energy than the mission itself. That is where the problem comes. It becomes a problem when distractions consume more energy than the mission itself. Like I used to say, people come on their platform, you spend hours on a live program. You spend 4 hours on live program. You use 2 hours for saga. You use 1 hour for propaganda and blackmail. And you only remember to talk about Biafra originally for 30 minutes. What do you think you are doing? And this is what many platforms are doing. Some of them don't even remember to talk about Biafra. They start with propaganda and blackmail and they end with propaganda and blackmail. They start with saga and they end with saga. in so many platforms today. And when you look at their back, you see the flag of Biafra. Some of them, you see the picture of Nnamdi Kanu with them. You see the picture of Simon Ekpa with them. And yet, they have nothing to offer. Progress becomes impossible when distraction consumes more energy than the mission itself. Throughout history, many causes have lost momentum, not because they lack supporters, but because they lost focus. Once you lose focus, you lose momentum. People become consumed by personal rivalries. This is where we are today. People have become so consumed by personal rivalries in our midst today. Personal rivalries. Look at the groups, the Department of Saboteur, ex-DOS. Their mission today is to go personal on Nnamdi Kanu, his private life, everything. A man that did nothing wrong to them. The same person that employed you say that he's done with your service, thank you for time served, and he puts some people else. You're angry. You begin to destroy his personality. He doesn't have right to remove you, but he has the right to appoint you when he appointed you. And before he appointed you, somebody was there. He removed them and appointed you. And now he doesn't have right to remove you and appoint someone else. Imagine. And some idiots are even listening to them. Some idiots, they still go and pay attention to those clowns. Some people spend their data to go and listen to those clowns, what they say. Many people today are consumed by personal rivalries. Today, arguments replace strategy. Go to many Biafran platforms. It's about arguments, arguing from morning till night. Oh, it is Mr. B to do this. It is Mr. Tom. It is this one that did this one. It is this one. Saga. That is what you go. Arguments, no strategy. Constant argument. Oh, we are the right people. Oh, we did that. Without us, Biafra will not come. Without us, Biafra will come. This one. Oh, we are the right people. We are the correct people. We are the right people. We are the people that are supposed to be in the front. We are the one that did that. We are the one that declared Biafra. We are the one that brought Biafra. We are the one that wrote the name Biafra. We are the one that have the right name. And they forget strategy. Emotion replace planning. Today, I can bet you that more than 50% of Biafrans are more emotional than planning. They work with their emotion. Too emotional to use their common sense and apply before they react. Many Biafrans, too emotional to apply their common sense. And that have dealt us a big blow. Maybe you don't know. Now you know. If you don't know before, now you know. People become consumed by personal rivalries. Argument replaces strategies. Emotion replaces planning. Division replaces unity. People prefer division today. That some of them, when they hear you talk about unity, they get angry. There are some devilish people in this struggle today that when they see you preach unity, they get angry. They don't want to hear it. And I ask, why are they scared of unity? You are scared that when the body is united, that Confucianists like you can no longer operate. Confucianists like you will not have a position anymore. You feel like when the people are united, that they can be able to dictate your evil, your lies and propaganda. And for that, you don't want anything unity. When people preach unity, you get angry. When people talk about unity, it will seem as if they touch something that is not supposed to be touched. I have seen so many people get angry simply because you are speaking about unity. Simply because somebody spoke about unity, you get angry. I don't know why. Why are you angry that someone is calling for people to unite? Why are you angry? Why are you angry? That someone is calling for unity, you get angry. You become so angry that you lost your mind, you lost your common sense. Wherever you are, whoever you are, wherever you stand, whatever you believe, and whatever you think, learn to use your common sense. Use your sense before you speak. Don't speak before using your common sense. Every one of us, Chukwu Okike gave us that common sense to apply. Every one of us, Chukwu Okike gave us the common sense to apply. But some of us think with our anus. Some of us, we talk before we think. The worst is that some of them who are invisible, you do not have a face, you don't have a name, you don't have a face, you don't have a name. You can't even come out and defend what you are saying. You don't even have an explanation for what you are protecting or what you are defending. Yet, you feel that because you have a smartphone, you can type, you just come and you write nonsense. The lesson is clear. When focus disappears, effectiveness decline. When effectiveness decline, objectives become harder to achieve. This principle applies to every community, every movement, and every organization. It applies to us too. The conversation about Biafra should therefore remain centered on ideas, objective, dialogue, rights, responsibility, and peaceful engagement. It's sometimes when I see the way people talk and the way they do, I see there are more people today that are reasoning with their anus than people that are reasoning with their brain. In this Biafra agitation, we have more people reasoning with their ass than reasoning with their brains. And that is why sometimes when I see some of their comments, I overlook it. I pretend as if I don't see it. I just keep on doing what I'm doing. Some of them will not even, they can't even be able to stand a program of 1 hour, let alone 2 hours. And they will come in a platform where someone is broadcasting every single day, 2, 3, 4 hours daily. And you come in a few seconds and you write nonsense and you walk away. And you clap for yourself. Oh, I have done well. I have done good. The conversation about Biafra should therefore remain centered on ideas. What is your own idea? Objective. What is your objective? Dialogue, right, responsibility, and peaceful engagement. Just like the HOD have just said in his statement, a very wonderful statement loaded with information for those who care. Some people are already fighting the HOD. They're already fighting him. Some groups are already boiling. Why did Nnamdi Kanu choose the HOD? Why did Nnamdi Kanu appoint this man? Why did Nnamdi Kanu give? As if they give it to you, you can do anything. The one they gave to you, what have you done? Common representation of Biafra as a human being, as an ordinary person, can you? It should not become consumed by endless distraction. We should make sure that we are not consumed by endless distractions. We should not become dominated by internal conflict. Enough of the nonsense. Enough of your group. I have said it 1,000 times. I am not in any group. The only group I belong is Biafra. The only group I belong is Biafra. And as long as you are doing something meaningful for the cause of Biafra, when I see what you did, nobody needs to come and tell me to preach you or to bring it or to share it. When I see it, I examine it, I will talk about it, and I will spread it out. That is my own office. Choose your own office, what you know you can do. Choose it and begin to do it. Don't wait for me. I don't belong to anybody. From day one, when I started broadcasting, many, many years ago, since 2016, nobody called me. I don't work under anybody. I make my broadcast. And I say it the way it is, based on information that is available to me, and based on facts and figures. Enough of this internal conflict. It is me, or it is me, it is my group, it is this, it is that. I don't give a damn about who you are or who you promote. I don't promote any personality. I promote Biafra. The only image of Biafra that the whole world needs to see is Nnamdi Kanu and Simon Ekpa, inclusive. Because they worked. Because they deserve it. Because they put their life on the line. And because their life is at stake. It is not because they told me to talk about them. It is not because they forced me to talk about them, but because of what I saw myself. It was the attack on the home of Nnamdi Kanu that made me to join the media. The attack of Nigerian government in the home of Nnamdi Kanu, when I was watching it live, that was what made me to join the media. We should not lose sight of the larger issue that affects ordinary people. We should not lose sight of the larger issue that affects ordinary people. At the heart of every political discussion are human beings. In all this we are talking, in all this calamity, all these troubles, and there are human beings involved. It is not a fiction. The loss of life of Biafra, the intimidation, the accusation, the killings in Biafra land, it is human being that is involved, not animals. There are human beings, there are families, there are workers, there are students, there are business owners, there are farmers. There are young people seeking opportunity, parents seeking security, citizens seeking dignity. Any discussion about self-determination must ultimately consider the welfare and aspiration of people themselves. One of the most important issues that we must talk today is also leadership. Leadership. Leadership in this Biafran cause is very important. I don't know what you believe. I don't want to know. I don't care what you believe or what you think. Whatever you think or whatever you believe or whatever you feel is none of my business. I don't give a damn about that. Because I know what I want and I know what I'm doing. Leadership plays a central role in every movement. Leadership plays a central role in every movement on the planet Earth. Leadership often becomes symbol of broader idea and aspiration. Supporters may view leaders as representative of a cause, while critics may challenge their position and decisions. Regardless of political perspectives, leadership remains a vital element of organizational identity. Leadership remains a vital element of organizational identity. Who are you identifying with as your leader? How is that person seen in the eyes of other people? You see, that is why Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is irreplaceable. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is irreplaceable. Every human being, not just the Biafran, non-Biafran, even one Nigerian is, they identify with the personality of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu and what he stands for. At least, if there is no other thing, every single one of them today on the planet Earth know that that man is unbribable. They know that IPOB is unbribable because of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. Wazirike did not face 1/4 of what Mazen Nnamdi Kanu faced, and he took the money and went away. Even if he didn't take money, he decided to walk away. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, even when faced with death, he said it's either Biafra or nothing. They have handed him a life sentence. Even in the life sentence, he is still coordinating the Biafran future. They threaten him that they're going to give him a death sentence. He doesn't care. In fact, he intensified to rebuild the IPOB and make it what it's supposed to be. He created the 100 men to put all the Biafran agitating group together. The more they try to break him down, the more he becomes stronger than ever. Regardless of political perspectives, leadership remains a vital element of organizational identity. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is a figure that you cannot remove. Remove Mazen Nnamdi Kanu from the Biafran struggle today, it will die a natural death. Remove that name, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, from Biafran struggle, it will die a natural death. That name, if you remove it, that is all. But as long as that name remains there, whether dead or alive, Biafra can never, ever, ever, ever be stopped. Whether Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is alive or dead, as long as his name is in the front line, there is nothing any human being can do on the planet Earth to stop Biafra actualization. Because he paid the price and ready to pay the price with his life. He's ready to pay the price with his life. How many of you can do that? Who else can? In this generation, who else can put his life on the line for his own people? We are dealing with a country that is ready to. Do you know what they have promised Mazen Nnamdi Kanu? There is nothing they have not promised him. From vice president to oil well to different what? There is nothing money can buy that has not been offered to Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. And he said, no. All I want is the freedom of my people. And that is the person you want to remove from the picture. And put who? You want to remove the image of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. And who are you going to put? Chike Doziem, Chinasamodu, or who? Who is that person? Who is that person that can fit in? Who is that person? Who is that person that can fit in? Many supporters of IPOB, those of us who support the indigenous people of Biafra, regard Mazen Nnamdi Kanu as the leader of the organization and as a prominent figure associated with the contemporary Biafran movement. You can't beat it. The whole world knows that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is the supreme leader of IPOB. And in the present day Biafran agitation, he is the name. He's the symbol. He's the symbol. You can't mention Biafra today without Mazen Nnamdi Kanu anywhere on the world. And once you mention Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, the next thing that comes to mind is Biafra. The only man that came close to do the same job was Mazen Simon Ekpa. When Mazen Simon Ekpa was here, he did everything humanly possible to see that the image of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu was not removed. They fought and fought and fought. He stood his ground. He kept the name of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu in the front line. And whenever they call him name, blackmail him, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu comes into the picture. And that is why I will never stop mentioning the name of Mazen Simon Ekpa. I will never be part of those who will sweep his name under the carpet, because The same effort he put to make sure that the name of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not denigrated, I will put the same effort to make sure that Mazi Simon Ekpa is recognized. An innocent man. The same way he fought for the innocence of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, put his own life on the line. I will never forget him. That is why some of you will be wondering, why is he putting the image of Mazi Simon Ekpa and Mazi Nnamdi Kanu every time? I will even increase it. I will never stop. Mazi Simon Ekpa played a major role to get us to where we are today. He played a major role. This Department of Saboteur will have done a great damage that no one could do. They will have done a very, very big damage that nobody can be able to manage anymore. But Mazi Simon Ekpa stopped them. He was able to stop them. They tried and tried and tried. They couldn't make it. Until he was finally taken out through the international conspiracy. And here are we today. I thank Chukwu Kamena, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have taken up the mantle, and the restoration of IPOB has begun. The redemption time will come. If you want to be redeemed, you'll be redeemed. If you don't want to be redeemed, okay. Continue in your idiocy. At the end of the day, you will pay the price. The name of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu remains central to discussions surrounding Biafra and self-determination. Whether one agrees or disagrees with his views, his influence on the conversation is undeniable. The influence of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu on the conversation of Biafra is undeniable. However, some movements are sustained not only by individuals, but also by ideas, institutions, discipline, and long-term vision. This is why supporters and observers alike often emphasize the importance of maintaining focus on principles rather than becoming distracted by every controversy that emerges. It's very important. We need to be focused and stop paying attention to controversies. Stop responding to every idiot that comes from any corner. We need to be focused. This is the time to be focused, to redeem our image. It is a redemption time. A redemption time has been kicked off by Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Whatever he says goes, because he merits it. The digital age presents both opportunity and challenges. Information now travels across the world in seconds. A single message can reach millions of people. A single video can shape public opinion. A single statement can influence international conversation. This means that every supporter, commentator, journalist, and content creator carries a significant responsibility. And we have seen what they are doing in the issue of Biafra. That is why we are not relenting. That is why I come online every single day. Sometimes I come online, I will be alone talking to myself. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, people will come and watch it later. People will share it, and those that need the information will get the information. Because in these days that we have, in a time of the media, information travels far. Every commentator, every supporter, every journalist, content creators, we all carry significant responsibility. But some of us don't know that we have a responsibility. The Biafra'S. Some of us still think it's just about the money. It's just about the personality, the influence. But we have more responsibilities that we carry. And we must wake up before it is too late. Words matters. Fact matters. Credibility matters. Accuracy matters. Respect matters. When discussing sensitive political issues, responsible communication becomes essential. This is what most of us in the media today is lacking. Responsible communication. Most of us lack responsible communication. When you come in your platform, all you do is to abuse your brother, insult your brother, use vulgar word against your own fellow brothers and sisters, push lies and propaganda that cannot be able to substantiate, speak on issues that have no evidence to back it up. That doesn't show you as a responsible communicator. We must engage in responsible communication. It is very essential now more than ever. People are more likely to listen when messages are presented clearly, respectfully, and thoughtfully. Intelligent people will pay attention to such messages. But I know that today we have many unintelligent people that people prefer saga. They prefer where you are cursing your brother and sister, where you are engaging in vulgar words. That is where the platform that have the highest viewers today. But that will not make those of us who are focused on what we are doing to change our topic. I can't change my strategy on topic for anybody. It doesn't matter who you are. I cannot change my topic. I have said it time again. I am not a content creator. I regard myself as a Biafran activist. That is what I am. And anything that supports the cause of Biafra, I don't care where it is coming from. I scrutinize it and it is sound. I take it and run with it. That is it. Sensible and reasonable people are likely to listen to when messages are presented clearly, respectfully, and thoughtfully. People are more likely to engage in constructively, when discussions are based on facts rather than insults. There are many people today, all they will have is insult. Some of them will come to my platform while I am passing a message and they insult me. I never talked about them. I didn't talk about their group or whoever they think they are promoting. I never call anybody's name. But they find it convenient to come to my platform to insult me. And if that is what makes you happy, go ahead. If that will make you happy to come to my platform and insult me, it's okay. Go ahead. I don't give a damn. I don't give half time for such people. I don't pay attention to them. But you should remember that people are more likely to engage constructively when discussions are based on facts rather than insult. If you have a superior argument, you have facts. That is why I put link when I'm preaching. I put link for those that have superior argument to come up with their superior argument. There's no other reason I'm putting those links there. And I announce it when I stand. That if you have a superior argument, instead of you being on the comment section and considering nuisance, you take up the challenge, come up and speak. We ask you a question, engage, and then let the world see how smart or how foolish you are. Redeeming an image, therefore, requires a commitment to responsible communication. As Nnamdi Kanu has kicked off the redeeming of the image of Biafra, the image of IPOB, as Nnamdi Kanu has kicked it off, redeeming an image, therefore, requires a commitment to responsible communication. We need to change the way we communicate. If you want to key into the redemption of the image of Biafra, change the way you communicate. Stop insulting people, abusing people. Stop your propaganda and blackmail and lies. Pushing unverified information right, and center. Before you share a video, verify what is in it. Find out if it is true or not. Just like on my private WhatsApp, every day I keep on deleting videos. Because some of those videos are coming from very irresponsible people that I don't know where they're coming from. Redeeming an image, therefore, requires a commitment to responsible communication. It requires patience. It requires consistency. It requires maturity. It requires strategic thinking. Most importantly, it requires unity of purpose. Unity does not mean everyone must agree on every issue. That is impossible. I have said it time and time again. Every community contains diverse opinion. Every movement contains different perspectives. Unity means recognizing shared objective despite differences. Unity means understanding the disagreement. Understanding that disagreement does not have to become division. Unity means prioritizing common goal over personal conflict. As we reflect on the future, and several questions deserve consideration. These are what we have said over and over again. It's left for you to either use your common sense, listen and understand, or you can continue to wallow in your idiocy and stupidity and continue to create chaos that will definitely destroy you. How can community communicate their aspiration more effectively? That is a question. How can we communicate our aspiration more effectively? How can dialogue be encouraged? How can misunderstanding be reduced? How can public discourse become more constructive? How can people remain focused on long-term objectives rather than short-term distractions? These are questions that deserve thoughtful discussion. And wherever you are today and you are joining us, I want you to pay close attention to those questions. They are very important. Answer it sincerely within yourself. How can dialogue be encouraged? How can communities communicate their aspiration more effectively? How can misunderstanding be reduced? How can public discourse become more constructive? How can people remain focused on long-term objective rather than short-term distraction? Answer the question sincerely to yourself. You can lie to people, but you can't lie to yourself. I urge every one of us to do what we have to do when we have to do it. Because it is our responsibility to be whom we are supposed to be. Do what we are supposed to do when we are supposed to do it. Wherever you are watching this program from. The effort to redeem the image of Biafra, like any efforts to improve public understanding, begins with discipline. Remember this. It begins with discipline, redeeming the image of Biafra. Like any other efforts to improve public understanding, begins with discipline, focus, responsible communication, commitment to peaceful engagements. History reminds us that perceptions can change, narratives can evolve, understanding can grow, dialogue can create opportunity for progress. Whatever one's political perspectives may be, it is important to approach this discussion with respect, with wisdom, and a commitment to peaceful civic participation. We are in a very critical time, redeeming the image of Biafra. And we must make sure we do our own part, play our own role for the image of Biafra to be redeemed. I would like to play one of the interview that was granted to the lawyer of Nnamdi Kanu some time ago. I want us to listen to that interview because we are talking about image, redeeming the image of Biafra. Very important. Nnamdi Kanu has kicked it off. So everybody that is genuine need to key in it is important we key in. We need to key in. Very, very important. And that is why I want us to listen to this very interview. We will learn one or two things from it. You know, Aloy Jimako is a very sound lawyer, a very, very sound lawyer. And when he speaks, except you are dumb, you can't. You must learn something from what he said.
It's my pleasure, Donald, for having me on Mob TV.
Yes, sir.
Your TV rocks. I like
Thank
it.
you. Thank you.
I view it sometimes on YouTube. He sent it to me, and
Yes.
I went there and I like what I saw. Well, viewers, greetings to you all. My name is Aloy Jimako. I'm a legal practitioner and best known as a human rights activist, and I'm one of the lawyers to Nnamdi Kanu. They call me special counsel. And I'm here on the invitation of Mob to speak to you all today. Thank you for having me on.
Thank you so much, sir. Sir, you have been with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu for a time now. What is your relationship with him like outside the struggle as a person, as a human being? What would you say he is like?
Well, you know, I've come to see him as my brother in the macro sense, from one evil man to the other, and we have also become very close friends. There is no way you can represent someone like him since 2017, 9 years ago, without developing some bond at the personal level. So we have bonded very strongly at the personal level. He's a wonderful individual, and I found him to be very inspiring and someone who stands behind his convictions very strongly, and it's very interesting to have him as a client. I would sometime I refer to him as my most valuable client, and I stand by it. Not valuable in terms of material resources or money or anything, but there is a lot of satisfaction that comes from representing someone. Professionally, I'm very satisfied in representing him, and I have become fulfilled professionally in many ways than one since I met him.
Okay, so there's been a lot of conspiracy theories, there's been a lot of propaganda, there's been a lot of news, there's been a lot of rumor, a lot of happened.
Yeah.
So, but I have you here, and so we'll have to get some clarifications. Do you think that there is a possibility that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will be released?
Yeah, sure, he will be released. How he's going to be released, I can only predict. I cannot tell you with any degree of certainty. This is not the first time this type of thing has happened. You recall in 1963 or 64, Obafemi Awolowo was tried for treason. There was no military officer or even police officer tried with him, but he was tried for treason and defined as an attempt to overthrow the federal government led by Abubakar Tafawa Balewa. He had no weapons. I think somewhere, some local police constable found a dead gun in the house of Anthony Inahoro. Inahoro was Awolowo's principal associate in the Action Group Party that was trying to control the Western Nigeria. So I think that was escalation of the political quarrel between him and the Tafawa Balewa government. So they charged him for treason, and he couldn't beat the rat. So everybody at that time, and historically now, you young men will read history, that at that time the judge, late Justice Showimo, told Nigerians in his memoir, before he died, that his hands were tied. So what he was saying basically was that Awolowo's case was political. It wasn't legal. It wasn't anything for the judiciary to settle. And I had said somewhere else, and I'm sure somebody else must have said it, that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's case mirrors that of Awolowo. His case is more political than legal. I maintain that stance. So when I was lead counsel, I was lead counsel between February 2024 and March 2025. I maintained that stand, even in open court, I had made an application for the judge to recommend that the parties go home and settle, because this matter is more political than legal. But sometimes in any society, especially one as not so well ordered as ours, there is this strange mix of politics and legalities. And Nnamdi can caught up in that web. And that is why he's today serving a life sentence. So there are two paths, two avenues to seeking for his freedom. One is through the judicial part, which is in process right now. The appeal process is ongoing, and we expect that it shall be concluded before the end of the year, and we intend to prevail. But apart from that, there is also there is a covert maneuver by some politicians or political leaders to see that this thing gets settled politically. And we're not going to put stumbling block on their part. And we're here to help, myself particularly, if they need any information, of which they had in recent past, requested some information from me. Principally, I must mention the name of somebody who has been very forthcoming in this direction of political resolution, which is the governor of Abia State, Alex Oti. So I appreciate him. And he requested a lot of information from me, some of them quantum, some of them significant, to assist in this maneuver, to have this matter of Nnamdi Kanu resolved politically. So I have no reason to doubt his sincerity of purpose, and I also have no reason to have confidence that in the end, common sense may prevail, maybe more wisdom will prevail within the leadership of the country to say, hey, look, let's send this matter once and for all and take some political decisions. So, otherwise, I mean, after all, self-determination is a political issue, it's not a legal issue. So ultimately, that, I think, is the way some of our leaders might begin to see it in days to come, or weeks or months.
Okay, so let's take a break and go back to Nnamdi Kanu a little bit. You've been to Sokoto. You've been to the prison. How is he holding up? How is he coming up with this sudden reality of life sentence, of being transferred to Sokoto, far from his family, far from friends, far from rich?
Well, I can tell you, a prison is not a 5-star hotel. So if I begin to tell you it's comfortable, I'll be lying, I'll be in denial. He's not comfortable, but he's not unhappy. He's not depressed. He's not stressed out. He's very strong and very upbeat and hopeful in that maxim that in the end, justice will always prevail. And he happens to be a man of excellent physical health. He does have some health challenges, just like any human being could have, and a lot of them were in the public domain when he was under the custody of DSS. So he's not hidden, but he's managing those health conditions pretty well. So he's looking forward to a day soon when he shall be a free man and go home to his family, friends, and associates.
Talking about the judgment, what do you have to say about such a judgment that we watched on television and a lot of things have gone around it? You have a deeper knowledge of that judgment than any other person who is commenting from the outer world, being part of the judiciary. What is your most profound perspective of that judgment?
Well, I'll just give you two views, and I will restrict myself to the horizon within which I can speak without being in contempt. Of course, the matter is sub judice. So I pick 2 points. One point is this, that Nigerians need to keep in mind that despite the carnage of NSAS, a lot of people died on both sides of the aisle. Security agents died, innocent Nigerians died in their hundreds as well, especially at Lekki Gate. Nobody was convicted to this date regarding NSAS except Nnamdi Kanu. And he wasn't even in the country.
Physically available.
Yes, he was mentioned in the judgment. So Nigerians need to ask themselves, anybody watching, Is that right thing to do? Is one of the things that is wrong with the judgment. The only person that stands convicted as of today, check it out, you can Google it, issuing from the NSAS protest, either policeman on the other side, security agent for killing innocent people, or any of the innocent Nigerians accused of anything. Nobody has been convicted, nobody has been prosecuted except Nnamdi Kanu that has been convicted for NSAS. And he was convicted despite the fact that none of the NSAS reports, including the prime report issued from Lagos State, where most of the violence occurred, 99% of the violence occurred in Lagos State, indicted him. Never called him by name and never even mentioned IPOB. That is very strange. The second one is this show me the law thing. You know, the reason was saying that, okay, he's a layman. People could be saying, oh, what is he talking about? He's not a lawyer. But he's a good understudy. He learns quickly. We took law books to him. He studies the law. He converted his cell block at the DSS into a legal library, to a law library. So he knows a little bit, even though from the layman's point of view. What he was trying to say is that it is not fair, not even constitutional or legal, to try someone on a repealed law. I'm a lawyer and I'm saying the same thing. The way people misunderstood it, repealed law does not obliterate the offenses, but the repealed law changes the mechanism, the procedure. It changes the game. It's a game changer. I can give you an example. Up to the time of General Abdul Salami Abubakar, we had the Armed Forces and Firearms Decree. And we had the Armed Forces and Firearms Tribunal.
Okay.
Empaneled mostly by military officers. And the punishment for armed robbery and some firearms offenses of the egregious kind was firing squad. And oftentimes you'll be taken to your village to be shot. Some kind of a shaming of your family. Or if you don't have a family, they take you to the bar beach in Lagos at the shooting range and shoot you. But once Abdul Salami left power and 1999 Constitution came into force, the laws of the Federation of Nigeria relating to and firearms reverted to the pre-existing law, which is the criminal code and the penal code for northern Nigeria and criminal code for the rest of the country. So anybody who had a pre-existing armed robbery case no longer faced a military tribunal. You faced the regular court. And the regular court convicted you, you were no longer subjected to to facing a firing squad in your village square or at the bar beach. You'll be subject to the punishment stipulated in the current law in force. And the current law in force is the criminal code or the penal code. So if they say life imprisonment, that's what you get. If they say 15 years imprisonment, that's what you get. But in Nnamdi Kanu's case, the law changed after the offenses were preferred against him. So he was in the process when the law changed. And there are advantages brought by the new law. Under Section 12 of the Nigerian Constitution, I think Section 36 of 12, a defendant or a suspect is allowed to take advantage of changes in the law. So you cannot relate back to punish him or give him a harsher punishment. So he was saying in effect, you have the right to try me. Yes, I concede to it. But it has to be clear to me under which law you are proceeding so that I'll be able to, put forward my defense. I'll be able to adduce my defense. Am I adducing my defense under the old law, which is now moribund, or am I adducing my defense under the new law? That was where everything came to a head and the disagreement occurred. But the judge proceeded anyway and convicted him under the old law. So these very two issues I brought out should be illustrative enough of what is wrong with that judgment. And we shall lay these things along with the other reasons before the Court of Appeal.
Nnamdi Kanu is, since he was brought back from Kenya, adopted from Kenya down to Nigeria. his organization, which he headed, or he's still the head,
Yes.
IPOB,
Yes.
there's been a lot of squabbles within them.
Okay.
Is it in any way affecting the trust of the people in the struggle?
Well, there is no organization, even a country, that you will not have skirmishes. Even the best well-ordered societies, you do have skirmishes within and without.
I want you to pay close attention to this part of the interview. This part of the interview is very important in relation to the topic we are discussing today, redeeming the image of Biafra. It is important, and the actions that Nnamdi can have taken lately to activate this redeeming of image. I want you to pay close attention to this part of the interview. It is very important. Pay attention. You're going to learn a lot.
So IPOB is not insulated from such clashes. But at the end of the day, the question you have to ask is, where does Nnamdi Kanu stand? He is my client, and I stand where he stands. If he issues instructions to me, it's my duty, under the ethics of my profession, to carry them out. So where he stands is where I stand, and that is where I think the general public should stand.
Where does he stand?
Where he stands is that he considers IPOB almost single-handedly, and he appointed some people as principal officers. And as a lawyer, I'm here to tell you that if someone has the right to appoint you, he has the right to fire you.
Yes.
So if this is the issue, well, people should accept things in good faith. Even myself as a lawyer, sitting here today, and I introduce myself as his special counsel, he has the right to fire me.
Definitely.
And if he does, I'll go home. I will not engage him in social media brickbat and, war of attrition, war of words, war of blackmail, and what have you. So if any one of you is listening, and Nnamdi Kanu appointed you to a certain office in the IPOB, and he says, I've lost confidence in you, or I think you are tired, you should go home, let me appoint someone else. It does not diminish you.
No.
He has the right to do that. But you get diminished when you challenge that. IPOB is not a gainful employment where you have employees' rights and so on and so forth, and you take your boss to court for firing you. It's not. It's a freedom fighting movement that should have strict and narrowly tailored command and control that should stop at the hands of Nnamdi Kanu. The buck stops at his table. So when he takes decisions, even though tough and unpleasant sometimes, you just have to abide by those decisions. So I stand by him. I stand by any decision he takes. The only duty I owe to him is to advise him truthfully and faithfully, and leave him to take decisions.
But right now, where does he stand? Like currently, where is his stand? Is it on the constituted people, the DOS that he has constituted, or what? Where is?
Well, I can tell you here. I've answered the question.
Okay.
He stands by the fact that if I constituted you and unconstitute you, you should go home.
Okay.
So if he constituted some people you mentioned, and he decides, I'm going to reconstitute you,
yes,
or I am going to send some of you home, so you can take a rest, let younger people or more committed people or whatever people should take over for now. You go home. You don't challenge him on the theory that I had enunciated before. It applies to me. If he tells me, a lawyer, give me your file, my file, and I don't want you to represent me anymore, I'll go home, and he will forever remain my friend. I will not come to social media and start attacking him and blackmailing him and try to form some kind of parallel legal practice against him, or take him to court or whatever. Lawyers, we have our own strength. So I will not start fighting my ex-client. Rather, I will find a way to make him my friend. He could call me again in the future for some other assignment.
Yes. All right, sir. So this struggle, to the best of our knowledge, did not start today.
Yeah.
Way beyond the Civil War, which happened in 1967 to 1970. Gowon played a capital role in the war. And 3 million people were lost. And just a few days ago, he made a statement that palm trees were fired.
That?
Palm trees were fired.
Uh-huh.
That his army were shooting the palm trees. How would you respond to that?
Well, that statement is quite unfortunate. I was amongst the very first people that came out because I read his book quickly. I had access to the e-copy of the book, General Gowen.
Yes.
I respect him as an elder statesman, but I also have the right to criticize him.
Definitely.
He's not beyond reproach. Even the Pope is not infallible. So I read his book and I found some faults in the book, maybe some distorted historical accounts. And I read other books, and I'm not a small boy. I was born way before the war. Okay, so I knew some of these things by sight and sound. I saw them happening, and these things were not presented as he did in the book. So I criticized him, and that part about bullets shooting palm trees is unfortunate. I think it offended the sensibilities of Igbo people or people of former Biafra or former Eastern Nigeria. But guess what? One Dam Bature, I think Garuba Dam Bature, he issued threats against me. He made an amateur video where he threatened me that I was insulting Gowon, that Northerners respect Gowon, that I'm insulting Gowon. If I insult Gowon again, then maybe they will deal with me. He introduced himself as president or leader of Arewa Youth. Okay? You are telling us that Gowon is northern leader. I thought he was head of state of the entire country. And you're belittling him now as a tribal leader. It's quite unfortunate. So I'll tell Dam Bature, Garuba, and his corps, wherever they are, the position I took is protected by the Constitution. I never insulted Gowon. I criticized the book. And I think when he published the book, he expected some critic
to come on.
And the Gowon that everybody knows probably would not share the same view as this Dam Bature. A lot of people have done that. I don't know why they singled me out. Maybe because I'm Nnamdi Kanu's lawyer, or maybe because my criticism got deeper, maybe much deeper than the other people said. So I don't know what it is, but the jury is still out, and the discussion is ongoing. So if they are going to be threatening more people, they should be ready to threaten more people. But that book will continue to be discussed in eternity. Because the only way he couldn't have discussed the book is that he didn't publish it.
The book at all.
Thank you.
All right. So lastly, 4 years ago, 30 years ago, the Minister of Justice, Alberta, Canada, Kelechi Madam, raised an alarm, advocated for the release of Nnamdi Kanu. The United Nations ordered the release of Nnamdi Kanu. There was a debate in the House of Lords in England, Britain, for the release of Nnamdi Kanu. And all these things fell to deaf ears. As a legal person, with all this international community interfering, is there no consequence to disobeying them?
Well, like I said, some of the diplomatic consequences of the interdiction of Nnamdi Kanu and how he has been treated within Nigeria's legal system, maybe most of them will not be out in the open. I'm sure there are covert or hidden diplomatic consequences, not in terms of sanctions or boycott or whatever. But I'm sure a lot of nations must have had some cold feet in dealing with Nigeria in terms of a lot of things. If you read the last State Department of United States counter reports, it was very harsh in criticizing Nigeria's legal system. And this case of Nnamdi Kanu is what is playing out at the back of the mind of the people that prepared that report. So there's a lot of things that we don't see. And at the end of the day, I think it will be better for Nigeria to think more deeply about all these things and do a cost-benefit analysis. Is it costlier to keep Nnamdi Kanu in detention, or is it less costly? The answer is straightforward and beyond debate. It's far cheaper for the government to release him than holding him. Cheaper in so many different ramifications, not just materially cheaper. Politically, it's more beneficial. diplomatically is more beneficial. And also it is more beneficial in terms of the interrelationship of the various tribes and geopolitical zones in the country. So the question that should be posed to the government is that what is really your benefit in keeping him in detention? No. So release him. Thank you.
Lastly, a lot of people are coming out. Videos are making rounds to apologize to Mazen Nnamdi.
Yes, and they apologized to me as well. People that blackmailed me, a lot of them have apologized to me.
How does it feel? Even to him, Mazen Nnamdi, seeing that all his predictions about insecurity, everything is coming out on point the way he said.
Okay. I misread the apology you're talking about. I was thinking apology of those who had criticized him, the way he ran things. And they criticized me the way I ran his legal defense. And even though I succeeded in making sure it was not brought to trial when I was lead counsel, I can beat my chest and say that. So I was criticized unfairly, and some of them came out and apologized to me. Well, coming straight to the specific point of his predictions coming through and the apologies that has drawn into the public square. Well, I can say good riddance to bad rubbish. People who disbelieved what he was saying, and again, not just disbelieving. I think part of the reason the legal system treated him the way they did, in the terrible way that they treated him in the legal or judicial system in the country, is because of his speech. I said it sequel to his conviction that this is the only man I know in my legal practice between the United States and here who was convicted on mere speech, on uttering of certain words that didn't sit well with the society. You see, those words may not sit well with you as a government or a section of Nigerians. It might even be termed inconvenient, but by God, they are not illegal. So it is not good for a government of the day, to seek to suppress a free speech by means of punishment of some sort. It's not done, and it's not desirable, and it's not the way to build a unified and successful society based on progressive ideas of justice, fairness, and the truth. So I'm happy today there is some vindication. More shall come. And I think all of these things will be what will play out and parlay into a metaphor, and parlay into the decision, the ultimate decision that I referred to previously as to whether he's going to be released or not. So a change of heart is coming, and I hope pretty soon we shall see it in the open.
This is a beautiful moment with you. The lasting solution of Nigeria. Do you think that Nigeria could be redeemed? Or do you think that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu ideology of dividing the country is the only lasting solution?
Well, you see, listen, one could say this or that, and they start accusing you of trying to split the country. But listen, self-determination is one of our laws. We just have to face it. Anybody in that could Google it. Article 20 of the African Charter on Human and People's Rights, ratified by Nigeria in 1983 or 1984, is part of our laws. It recognizes self-determination as an inalienable right of every Nigerian, and is also recognized as a fundamental right. So when lawyers go to court to enforce your fundamental rights, they cite to the African Charter that I just cited. So it's an organic law, highly respected in this country. So if an alpha male, someone like Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, steps forward and says, I want a separate country, you don't consider it a law enforcement issue. You consider it a political issue. It's an indirect invitation to a dialogue. And in that dialogue, you may not end up with granting him his wish, but that dialogue may throw up solutions that would make the society better. In that dialogue, solutions for a better Nigeria could come, and if those solutions could not be found, maybe people might as well go their separate ways if they cannot find a common ground to coexist as a nation. That is the thesis of his agitation. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I really
I hope you enjoyed the interview. It was very interesting interview, very interesting interview, and so many important questions were asked. And our lawyer Jimako, as always, a very sound lawyer, he never beat about the bush. Whenever he's on a topic, he deals with it squarely, and any question thrown at him, he deals with it squarely. So, as we have seen and we have heard for every one of us, the new dawn is here. The new face of Biafra is here, and our responsibility is to key into the redemption of the image of Biafra, the image of the IPOB, the image of the Biafran cause. It is very important. Very important. And I want to remind you that every single one of us, we are all members of IPOB. You can't run away from it. That name cannot be changed, that title cannot be changed. We are all the indigenous people of Biafra. You can be in any group that suits you, that makes you feel good. Any group you feel that is close to you, that you like their way of doing things, it is okay. It is okay. You can be there, but most importantly, in any group you are, make sure that the unity of purpose is always the guiding rule that you have there. Unity of purpose that I have spoken about several times does not mean that we will not have arguments. It doesn't mean that we will not have misunderstanding. It doesn't mean that we will have one ideology. There will be different ideologies, different opinions, and different ideas. But in the midst of all those different ideas, there is one purpose for which we all gather anywhere we gather. The purpose of our gathering is self-determination, the freedom of the Biafran people. Don't ever forget that. No matter how angry you are, no matter how troubled you are, don't forget the purpose for which we gather. It is very important. And today, the prediction of our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa Njoko, has finally come to pass. It was Mazi Simon Ekpa that first of all led us on casting the vote of no confidence on this very sacked Department of Sabotua. The SDOX, under Chikedozium and Chinas and Wood, it was Mazi Simon Ekpa that conducted the vote of no confidence, and they were taken out completely. But I thank Chukwu Kevin and Mazi Nnamdi can have done the official thing today. And when I tell you that these people, Mazi Simon Ekpa was not doing anything on his own, he is working according to the template that Mazi Nnamdi can left, and you don't believe it, it's up to you. The same way they blackmailed Mazi Simon Ekpa, called him a terrorist, framed him up with every atrocities in Biafra land. That is what they are doing against Mazi Nnamdi today. Any place the unknown gunmen carry their mission, they will say it's Mazi Simon Ekpa. Nigerian government and their politicians will go and conduct a false flag, and they say it's Mazi Simon Ekpa. During our Monday sit at home, Nigerian government took a lot of life through their false flag, conducted and sponsored by governors. And they target Mazi Simon Ekpa. Soludo, you see what he's doing today? See what Soludo have done in Anambra State. The attack on businesses, destruction of markets. He has gone extreme, he has gone wild on different angles. He's no longer hiding his attack on Biafran people. This same Soludo was the one that was in the front line of attacking Mazi Simon Ekpa to destroy his image. This same Soludo was the person that the Department of Sabotua we are working with. At a point in time, Soludo said that the Department of Sabotua that Mazi Nnamdi has sacked today have agreed to work with him. On video, he said they agreed to work with him. And that was when they began to conduct different kinds of operations. And when they do it, they tell it's the Liberation Army. When they tell it, they'll say it's Mazi Simon Ekpa. They blackmail and blackmail and blackmail until they played their international script and Mazi Simon was taken out. Today, finally, breeze have blown. We have seen the underneath of the foul. It is now clear that our Prime Minister Mazi Simon Ekpa has been innocent all this while. We know he's been innocent. Today, even some people are apologizing to him. And those people that came together to blackmail Mazi Simon, they are the one today blackmailing Mazi Nnamdi because Mazi Nnamdi have sacked them completely. Mazi Nnamdi have officially put a nail on their coffin. After Mazi Simon conducted the vote that we casted against them, they are gone and gone for good. So today, I thank Chukwu Okike for the step Mazi Nnamdi have taken and the new appointee that he has, who has now issued a statement, and his statement is amazing. Wherever you see him, Mazi Woku, respect him, accord him his respect. Wherever you see him, whatever he puts forward, we all have to encourage him, support him, and promote the cause of Biafra. It is important. It doesn't matter the group you belong. Nobody is attacking your group or telling your group not to do whatever they want to do, as long as it is for the progress of Biafra. Whatever you know you can do in your small little mushroom groups for the success of Biafra, continue to do that. Nobody is against you. But whenever instruction comes from Mazi Nnamdi, either through the 100 men or through the IPOB, DOS, the HOD that we know today, there is no doubt that we have to know that it is an instruction from Mazi Nnamdi, and everybody has to key in. And if Mazi Simon ever comes out tomorrow, I strongly believe he will be very glad to walk side by side with the new HOD, with the new IPOB. IPOB is reborn, and we are going back to where we started. We are going back to our root where we started, to be whom we are. While we continue to pursue the attention of the international community and recognition to get what we want, we must continue to conduct ourselves very, very well. Forget about those your envy and jealousy and those your personal interests and all those group pursuit of group influence and whatever. It doesn't make any sense. All those your little mushroom groups doesn't make any sense. All those your personal ego, you want to show you are the one that did this and you did that, it doesn't make any sense. The only thing that makes sense today that we are supposed to pursue is collective interest of the Biafran people, to make sure that we push our matter before the whole world, for the world to pay attention and for us to get what we want. It is very important. So before we end the program, let us see if we can be able to run through their media today. Let's see what they have in their Zoological Republic media. After a very quick break, then we will go to the media and see what we can get in their media. You know why we go there? It is to also expose them with their lies and propaganda and confirm everything we have said on our own. Because, when we thought from the social media, they say, oh, it's social media. So we get conventional media, mix it up and show the world so that they can be able to comprehend what is happening. So let's have a quick break and then we go to their media.
Don't follow for Gotao. Them say Tinubu don't follow for Gotao. Tinubu don't follow for Gotao. They want to take it tax to chop off our head. Senate House fall and the criminals, country military fall and the terrorists, injustice, on motor shop forget love for inside God. Kangaroo Republic at the government. Abubakar Malami don't fall for Gotao. Him and EFCC put leg for shit. Them say Sheikh Kukumi don't fall for Gotao. Because Donald Trump don't come to Machamo. He go matching Boko boys, matching terrorists. As the government knows the way for kidnapping to stop. I make it don't fall for Gotao. Them make Nigerians see one die for suffer.
Welcome back. Thank you so much for being with us up to this minute as we enter into the last phase of our broadcast today. I appreciate everyone that have been patient with us up to this time. If you have not shared this broadcast, please share this broadcast. It is very important. Like and share the broadcast. If you have not yet subscribed to our channel, I don't know what you are waiting for. Subscribe if you have not done so. Like and share if you have not done so. It is very important. That is the only way you can support the propagation of the gospel of truth and the gospel of freedom. So let us start from here. This one says, despite xenophobic violence, South Africa remains Nigeria's leading African trade partner. That is it. With all their cutting off your heads at them, you are still their biggest partner. Panic as false bandit alarm disrupt clashes in Kwara community schools. Police hunt women who raise the alarm. People are scared. You don't blame people are scared. Everybody is skeptic about any information, and every information is important. So don't scare people that they will not be given information. Once you see something, say something. Nigeria to conduct national learning assessment in schools nationwide from June 29. Nonsense. Enugu Health Ministry issues alert over counterfeit augmentin 265 milligram tablet in circulation. That's sad. That's sad. You see how they bring fake drugs because there is no system that is shipping us. These things are not supposed to enter the country at all. They are not supposed to. But in the borders, they will settle and they bring it in. And some idiotic people who are involved in these shady businesses are prospering. Zamfara governor distances government from 50 elders kidnapped during bandit peace talk. Ask who sent them to negotiate. Oh God. You see, this is funny. Zamfara governor. 50 elders who went to negotiate with kidnappers. The kidnappers who go kidnap all of them. They kidnapped them and kept them. And the governor is saying, the governor is distancing himself from 50 elders kidnapped during bandit peace talk. And the governor said, who sent you? Who sent you to negotiate? People are looking for solution. When the government cannot provide solution, people on their own are seeking for solution. But instead of the governors now to think about the life of these people to save them first, the governor is asking, who sent you to go and negotiate with bandits? Oh God, God have mercy. God have mercy. God have mercy. This one says, watch vandals spend months in southeast forest camps to excavate steel 3 km of Port Harcourt Kaduna pipeline. Vandals. This one they happen for Biafra land. It happened for Biafra land. Vandals spend months in southeast forest camp to excavate steel. 3 kilometers. They excavate steel 3 kilometers of Port Harcourt Kaduna pipeline. They should remove it. It's a good job. They should remove it. You are laying pipeline in the southeast from Port Harcourt all the way to Kaduna. You lay pipeline to take our resources to the north, and yet there is nothing to show for us. It's a good job. They did a good job. They are not vandals. I don't call them vandals. They did a good job. They did a good job. Remove the nonsense. You took the months in the southeast. Excavate steel 3 kilometers of Port Harcourt Kaduna pipeline. Pipeline my food. They should continue. More of that. I need more of this to happen. Remove all the pipelines. All the pipelines should be taken out. They should be taken out. Mad people everywhere. Vandals excavate steel. They need to do it. It's a good job. They did a good work. It's a good work. Vandals excavate steel 3 kilometers of Port Harcourt Kaduna pipeline after spending months in southeast forest. It's good. They don't allow any of those nonsense to stay in our forest. Nonsense. To steal our resources and take it to the north at the same time kill us. Mad people. You are using our resources to fund our own debt, fund attack against us. And you want us to clap for you. The vandals, these are not vandals. These are genuine citizens protecting their own resources. These are citizens making sure that their resources are safe. EU Parliament rejects 156 million EU funding for Tanzania over human rights abuses, fraudulent elections. Everything in Africa is always a problem. Drama at NGC headquarters in Abuja as ADC youth swing accuses police DSS blocking petition against Justice Lifu. Ogun University declared lectures free day after student killed in Ago Iwoye armed robbery attack. UK jail ex-border officer, former Hong Kong policeman for spying on dissidents for China. No uniform, no ID, no receipt. How Kogi traffic officials allegedly turned enforcement into 50,000 extortion rackets. Not only them, that is the Nigerian system. It's happening on a daily basis. Anambra government takes custody of child of human accused of brutally abusing 10 years old house help. That abuse issue is so bad. I saw the video. It is so painful how somebody can treat a fellow human being in that manner. You are protecting your own children and you're destroying somebody's home. That's unfair. Fire engulfed multi-story building on Lagos Island housing Polaris Bank others. Who know the one they want to hide? When they want to hide something, they bomb building. We know that now. Terrorists attack 80-seaters passengers bus along Kaba Okene Highway in Kogi, abduct all occupants. That is the kind of news you hear in Nigeria. The terrorists are in charge. They come and abduct whenever they want, any one time they like, anytime they want. That's the burning building. That's the building on fire. They must have stolen something now. They set the place on fire. We've seen that. That is Nigeria for you. That is the zoo for you. Which one is this one? This one says, "End Ashawo, end the Murumiri, angry Enugu women protect accused sex workers of taking over husbands." Enugu people, they protest. Say sex workers don't take all their husband finish. They don't take their husband, they protest. There are more things to protest than this one, my sisters. There are better things to protest than these ones. Ekiti governorship election, INEC distributes sensitive materials to council, confirm over 1 million registered voters. Mad people. Nigerian court martial president threatened Nigerian court martial. Nigerian court martial president threatens phone seizure, warns lawyers to stop leaking secret calls. Trial details. Nonsense. They are coming to America by Azu Ishekwene. Again, U.S. warns citizens not to travel to Russia over insecurity amid Ukraine war. How police use IPOB narrative to bury unsolved killings, cover up wrongful arrests, others in Southeast Nigeria. This is absolute. This is what they do. This is what Nigerian government is doing every day. Even as we speak, it's still going on. The police use on IPOB is not a terrorist organization. IPOBs are not committing any crime. They have not done any crime. They have not taken the life of anybody. But thousands of people their life have been taken because of the prostitution of IPOB. The only thing a policeman needs to see on you is a signal of Biafra, and they will take your life and tag you IPOB. Many people have lost their life. Thousands of people have disappeared. Many in detention simply because they identify with IPOB. Some of them are not even members of IPOB. Some of them are not members of IPOB. So this is what is happening. How police use IPOB narrative to bury unsolved killings. When they commit their crime, they will tag. Once they say it's IPOB, nobody investigates anymore. Once they mention IPOB, no more investigation. It is done. God have mercy. God have mercy. And this has been happening over and over. Let me see if we can be able to read the text on what they actually wrote. Because I know that this is not just this is just more than you can ever imagine. Let's see if we can be able to read this. Exclusive. How police use IPOB narrative to bury unsolved killings, cover up wrongful arrests, orders in southeast Nigeria. That is what is happening. It didn't start today, my brother. It's been a long time. However, interviews with families of victims, retired police officers, human rights advocates, lawyers, and examination of police documents reveal a deeper crisis inside Nigerian criminal justice system. This is a fact. In the last 5 years, a troubling pattern has emerged across Nigeria, southeast. Violent crimes, political assassination, criminal killings, and controversial arrests are frequently and swiftly linked by security agencies in the indigenous people of Biafra. That is what they do. Once they want to cover all this, they just put Biafra. And its arms wing, the Eastern Security Network, ESN, when before often before detailed investigation are concluded. Yes, before ever they make investigation, they just tell you that it's IPOB. We have been seeing it over and over again. Before investigation, they will just tell you it's IPOB and the case is dead. It is the truth. However, interview with families of victims, retired police officers, human rights advocates, lawyers, and examination of police documents reveal a deeper crisis inside Nigerian criminal justice system. Hurried narrative, weak investigation, political pressure, and alleged police misconduct have combined to obscure accountability in some of the region's most controversial killings. Anything that happens, they just target IPOB, and that's it, and it's done. At the center of the investigation is the assassination of Labour Party senatorial candidate for Enugu East, Chief Oyibo Chukwu. His murder days before the 2023 general election shocked the country. More than 3 years later, the family insists justice has been buried under what they describe as deliberate police cover-up and politically motivated deflection. The killing that changed Enugu political atmosphere. On the 9th of February 22nd, 2023, barely 48 hours before Nigerian presidential and National Assembly election, gunmen ambushed and killed Oyibo Chukwu at Amechi Akwakona in Enugu South local government area. The assailant shot him alongside his aide and set their vehicle ablaze. Instead of investigating, they will tell you, oh, it is IPOB. That is the man that was murdered. That's the man. That's the man. The late politician, former chairman of the Nigerian Bar Association, NBA, Oji River branch, was a Labour Party candidate for the Enugu East Senatorial District and was widely considered a strong challenge in the former Enugu governor, and then Senator Chimaroke Nnamdi. The murder sent shockwave through the state. At the time, Labour Party leader alleged that political opponents threatened by the party growing popularity were behind coordinated attack, targeted opposition figures. Then, Labour Party governorship candidate in Enugu State, Chijioke Edom said party members had become targets for systemic violence. But within hours of attack, the Enugu State Police Command publicly linked the killing to IPOB ESN. That is what they do every time. It is not the first time. It is not. We have been seeing it over and over again. When something happens, they will say it is ESN. It is sad. Police impose movement restriction, deploy operative ahead of Enugu senatorial by-election. U.S. Justice Department charges 15 persons, including 11 illegal immigrants, for 1.4 million fraud. U.S. allies offer Iran $300 billion reconstruction deal as 14-point peace agreement documents emerges. Edo Police Command debunks kidnapping of school children, arrests residents for false alarm. Malawi evacuates over 1,200 citizens from South Africa amid rising xenophobic attack on migrants. U.S. military lift blockade of Iranian port after peace deal. Finally, peace is returning. Nigeria will be next. $6 billion Mambila fraud. Witness in ex-minister Ogunlaye's trial claim EFCC, FEC record is authentic. Edo Governor Ekpabolo vowed to publicly hang anyone convicted of kidnapping at roundabout set up special court. This one don't start on that one. Hanging in the public, it's a human rights abuse. That is not going to stop kidnapping. You're going to stop kidnapping. You're in a democratic time. Some of these idiots that call themselves governors, I don't know where they are coming from. You think that is going to stop your kidnapping? Nonsense. Exclusive 12 foreign ex-employees accused Nigerian construction giant Dandata and Seoul of withholding 3,500 euro in unpaid entitlement. I'm not going to open this, I don't know what is there. African Union condemned terrorist attack on Niamey Airport in Niger Republic. Maybe when I send them, when I work with France. EFC witness revealed charts showing Akwa Ibom man allegedly defraud foreign lover of $14,000. Nigerian Nurses Forum raises alarm over murder of award-winning students. 6 scholarship for victims' brother. Socialist Worker League demand reversal of Showere's bail revocation, condemn judicial intimidation. Showere is their nightmare. They want to silence the Bahamas. I was selling chin-chin, not robbing people. Kirikiri inmates plead as CDHR takes case to Lagos Attorney General. Many innocent people are there in Kirikiri. Many innocent people. So many of them. Nigerian retirees appeal to Tinubu governors, lament silent crisis facing pensioners over delayed gratuity. How Ebony youths were lured with fake job, held hostage, tortured in Enugu luxury estate. You won't try. Everything is happening in the zoo. Exclusive Rwandan inmate death at Kuje prison triggers probe by Abuja panel into alleged neglect extortions. A Rwandan man died in Kuje. U.S. congressman called Trump Iran deal a surrender agreement, vow to vote against it. They call it a surrender. We shall see. Kuje prison officials plotting to target Sowore if remanded there following Sahara reporters exposed. They are already plotting what they will do against Sowore. U.S. intelligence released file alleging Dr. Fauci funded risky Wuhan research, misled Congress on COVID's origins. See? We knew it was all a fake that time. We knew all was fake. We knew. But what could we do? Police raid Anambra drug den, rescue 15-year-old pregnant girl allegedly abused by multiple men. Nigerian activists call for action against South African minister over alleged threats to cut oxygen for illegal foreigners. Imagine. Amnesty International condemned revocation of Sowore's bail, called it threats to free speech. They will say, speak so many good languages, but action. Amnesty International have no action. Breaking. Kuje prison doctor Ezigbe accused of negligence over death of Rwandan inmate sources. The Rwandan have died, foreigners have died now. That is why you are investigating. If it were to be somebody, a local person that died, a Nigerian that died, there will be no investigation, more especially if it is somebody that have Chuku in his name. Nobody will investigate it. It will be something that nobody will even talk about. One people everywhere. Let's see this. Ondo by-election, police officials lament lack of transport, welfare, support for election duties. Nonsense. I never say anything. Lagos mother arraigned for allegedly using blade on 18-year-old son over stolen money. That's Nigeria for you. Nothing they can. Everything is possible in the Zoological Republic. I appreciate everyone that have been part of this message. I thank you so much for being part of this program. Thank you so much for being part of the program. I say, may Chukwu continue to guide and protect every one of you that have participated in one way or the other. Thank you for being part of the program, and may Chukwu continue to guide and protect every single one of you wherever you are joining us from. May Chukwu guide and protect every single one of us. And may the image of Biafra be redeemed. We pray for those who were newly appointed by our Supreme Nnamdi Kanu, that Chukwu will give them wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. We pray for our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa Njoko, for divine wisdom, for strength, and for his freedom very soon. No weapon formed or fashioned against us as Biafran shall prosper, and no weapon formed or fashioned against our Supreme Nnamdi shall prosper. No weapon formed or fashioned against our Prime Minister shall prosper. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being with us. See you again later in the day by the grace of God. Bye and stay blessed.
The very oldest language on the face of this earth. Chiko kikabia mapuni nene chineke ngende sona efewe na isiala nina ina koza hanso ya mbuni onye na jama we onye na ge farusi obona nege onye kari nene kere kema obona kere obia mende ndi so na kiri hala isiala ndi obadi ndo and we're not young. Be connected and make a difference with your source.
And we're not going to
but you know what? They would like you to believe that someone is the cause of this. No. I am the solution, and the only way they can get to you is by kicking me out, which is not possible. I have come. Look with you. After I am done with Nigeria, Biafra will be free and enjoy freedom. Biafra will know the importance of freedom and what I'm going to do in 5 years to come. Thank you.